Hi everyone, I am Robin, and in this video I'm going to talk about my hometown. Now, a lot of my students ask me, where are you from? And of course I answer, I'm from Canada. And then they usually ask me, which city are you from in Canada? Vancouver or Toronto? Okay, so those are two cities most Koreans know. And I explain, well, I'm not from Vancouver or Toronto, and I tell them I'm from a city called Edmonton. Okay, and they're like, where's Edmonton? And I explain, well, Edmonton is closer to Vancouver. It's in Western Canada. But actually, Edmonton is not really close to Vancouver. If you were driving from Vancouver to Edmonton, it would take about 16 hours to drive through the mountains, okay? So that's still pretty far. All right. Now, I tell them my hometown is Edmonton because, I went to university in Edmonton and I spent about 6 or 7 years in Edmonton. But Edmonton is not my real hometown. My real hometown is Fort McMurray. Where is Fort McMurray? Well, Fort McMurray is north of Edmonton. So if you're going from Edmonton and you're driving north, you have to drive another 5 hours to get to Fort McMurray. Okay, Fort McMurray is a smaller city. There's only about 60,000 people living there. And even in Canada, a lot of Canadians never heard of Fort McMurray because it's so far north and isolated. Okay, there's no other cities around it. And as I said, the closest main city is Edmonton, but that's a 5-hour drive away. Now, Fort McMurray is in the bush, okay? There's lots of trees there, lots and lots of trees. And in the wintertime, because it's so far north, it's very dark in the wintertime. When I went to school, it was dark, and when I came home, it was dark. There's not much sunlight in the wintertime. And also, Fort McMurray is very, very cold. It is freezing. So I remember temperatures of minus 30 degrees Celsius, minus 35 degrees Celsius, and with the wind chill, that can easily go to minus 40 degrees Celsius, minus 45 degrees Celsius. Very, very cold, all right? Fort McMurray is not a very good place to visit, okay? There's no tourism there. There's nothing to see and do there. As I said, it's just trees. But there is one thing Fort McMurray is famous for, and that is oil. There's a lot of oil there, and that's the main industry there. That's why people live there. They work for the oil industry. And the oil there is different. It's not the oil that you pump out of the ground. Actually, the oil is in the sand, and they call that tar sand. Okay, so they have to suck the oil out of the sand. So that's how Fort McMurray makes its money. And that's why people live there. Probably I wouldn't want to go back there and live. I lived there during my childhood. That's enough. It's too cold for me. I enjoy living in Edmonton, which is 5 hours south, and a little bit better weather. Anyway, that's my hometown. I hope you enjoyed my story. See you next time.